Life is full of ups and downs. We all face situations that test our patience, courage, and resolve. Whether it's losing a loved one, failing an exam, breaking up with a partner, or struggling with a health issue, we all encounter difficulties that make us feel angry, sad, or hopeless. These are not rare or unusual events. They are part of what it means to be human. We all share the same fate of living in a world that is unpredictable, complex, and challenging. The question is not whether we will face adversity, but how we will deal with it. How we cope with these hardships can make a huge difference in our lives. It can determine whether we sink or swim, whether we give up or persevere, whether we learn or stagnate. It's in these moments of crisis that we have the opportunity to grow, to discover our inner strength, and to overcome our limitations. This is the essence of bouncing back from anything, finding the resilience and the mindset to face any obstacle and emerge stronger and wiser. But how can we develop this skill? How can we cultivate the mental and emotional fortitude to bounce back from anything? While there are many philosophies and teachings that offer guidance on this topic, this discussion is not about any specific doctrine or belief system. Rather, it is about the universal principles that can help anyone, regardless of their background or worldview, to bounce back from anything life throws their way. The first principle is to accept reality as it is. Life is not a smooth and straight road. It is a winding and bumpy one. There will be times when we enjoy the scenery and the breeze, and there will be times when we face storms and detours. This is the nature of life, and we cannot change it. What we can change is how we perceive and react to it. We can choose to see the beauty and the lessons in every situation, or we can choose to focus on the pain and the problems. To bounce back from anything, we have to acknowledge that adversity is inevitable and normal, and that it is our attitude that shapes our experience. One example of someone who embodied this principle was Marcus Aurelius, was the Emperor of Rome in the 2nd century, a position that came with great power and responsibility. He had to deal with constant wars, political intrigues, natural disasters, and epidemics. He faced many challenges and threats, both external and internal. Yet he did not let these troubles disturb his peace of mind. He wrote a book called Meditations, where he recorded his personal thoughts on how to live a good and meaningful life. In this book, he revealed his secret to resilience, accepting the reality of life and focusing on what he could control. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He understood that the world was unpredictable and chaotic, and that he could not control everything that happened to him or around him. He also understood that he had the power to choose how he would respond to these events, how he would interpret them, and how he would act on them. He realized that his strength came from his inner control, not from his outer circumstances. Another example is Epictetus, who was a former slave who became a free man and a respected teacher of Stoicism in the 1st century. He had a very different life from Marcus Aurelius, but he shared the same philosophy. He taught that the key to happiness and resilience was to distinguish between what is in our control and what is not. He argued that we can only control our own thoughts, feelings, and actions, and that everything else is beyond our reach. He said that it is not the events themselves that cause us pain or pleasure, but our judgments about them. He said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things." He believed that we can change our views and opinions about anything that happens to us, and thus change our emotional reactions. He believed that we can train ourselves to see things objectively and rationally, without letting our emotions cloud our judgment. He believed that this was the way to achieve inner peace and freedom. These two men showed us how to bounce back from anything life throws our way. They showed us how to accept reality as it is, without complaining or resisting. They showed us how to take charge of our own minds, without letting external events affect us negatively. They showed us how to live with wisdom, courage, and dignity. Bouncing back from anything is a skill that can help you overcome any challenge or difficulty that life throws your way. It is the ability to adapt, recover, and grow from adversity rather than letting it break you down. But how can you develop this skill? How can you become more resilient and resourceful in the face of obstacles? Here are 4 steps that you can follow to bounce back from anything. Step 1. Accept your fate. We often waste our time and energy worrying about things that are outside of our power, such as the past, the future, other people's opinions, or random events. This only makes us unhappy and frustrated and prevents us from taking action on the things that we can change. Stoics advise us to focus on the present moment and to accept whatever happens to us as part of the natural order of things. They teach us to practice amor fati, or love of fate, which means to embrace every situation as an opportunity to grow and learn. In his Meditations, the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius stated, "Everything that happens is either bearable or not. If it's bearable, put up with it. Suspend your whining. Stop complaining if it is intolerable. It will also come to an end if you are destroyed." Just keep in mind that anything your mind can make bearable, you can endure by treating it as being in your best interests. Accepting your fate does not mean being passive or resigned. It means being realistic and proactive. It means recognizing what you can control and what you can't, and acting accordingly. It means not letting your emotions cloud your judgment or interfere with your actions. It means not letting external events define your happiness or worth. Accepting your fate also does not mean giving up on your goals or dreams. It means being flexible and adaptable. It means being open to change and new possibilities. It means being willing to learn from your mistakes and failures. It means being grateful for what you have and what you can do. Accepting your fate is a skill that you can develop with practice. Here are some tips on how to do it. Identify what is in your control and what is not. Make a list of the things that you can influence or change and the things that you cannot. For example, you can control your thoughts, feelings, and actions, but you cannot control other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions. You can control your effort, but you cannot control the outcome. Focus on what is in your control. Spend your time and energy on the things that you can improve or change. For example, if you want to get a better job, focus on improving your skills, updating your resume, applying for jobs, and preparing for interviews. Don't worry about the economy, the competition, or the hiring manager's decision. Accept what is not in your control. Don't waste your time and energy on the things that you cannot influence or change. For example, if you get rejected for a job, don't dwell on the reasons why or blame yourself or others. Accept that it was not meant to be and move on to the next opportunity. Challenge your negative thoughts. When you face a difficult situation, don't let your mind go into a downward spiral of pessimism or catastrophizing. Instead, question your negative thoughts and replace them with more realistic and positive ones. For example, if you think, "I will never find a job," challenge this thought by asking yourself, "Is this true? Is this helpful? Is there any evidence to support this? What are some alternative explanations? What are some positive aspects of this situation?" Practice gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you lack or what you wish was different, focus on what you have and what you appreciate. Make a habit of expressing gratitude for the things that make your life better or easier, such as your health, your family, your friends, your hobbies, etc. You can also express gratitude for the challenges that help you grow or learn something new. Embrace uncertainty. Instead of fearing the unknown or trying to predict the future, embrace uncertainty as a source of excitement and opportunity. Recognize that life is full of surprises and possibilities, and that you can always adapt and adjust to whatever comes your way. Be curious and adventurous, and try new things that challenge you or expand your horizons. Seek meaning and purpose. Instead of feeling lost or hopeless in the face of adversity, seek meaning and purpose in your life. Find out what matters to you most, what makes you happy and fulfilled, what gives you a sense of direction and motivation. Align your actions with your values and goals, and pursue them with passion and perseverance. Learn from others who have bounced back from anything. Seek inspiration and guidance from people who have overcome similar or worse situations than yours. Read their stories, watch their videos, listen to their podcasts, etc. Learn from their experiences, strategies, insights. Step 2. Adapt and persist. Life is full of changes and challenges, and sometimes we have to face situations that are beyond our expectations or abilities. We may encounter obstacles that block our progress, setbacks that derail our plans, or failures that shatter our confidence. We may also have to deal with changes that force us to leave our comfort zone, such as moving to a new place, starting a new job, or ending a relationship. How we cope with these changes and challenges can determine whether we bounce back from anything or not. Some people may give up easily, lose hope, or become bitter. Others may adapt and persist, find solutions, or become better. The difference lies in how we approach the situation and how we respond to it. Stoics advise us to adapt and persist in the face of adversity. They teach us to be flexible and creative, to use our reason and resources, to learn from our experiences and improve ourselves. They teach us to be persistent and determined, to overcome our fears and doubts, to pursue our goals and dreams. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Enchiridion, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen, and you will go on well." Adapting and persisting does not mean being stubborn or rigid. It means being open-minded and resourceful. It means being willing to change your strategy, your perspective, or your behavior when the situation requires it. It means being able to improvise, experiment, or innovate when the situation allows it. Adapting and persisting also does not mean being reckless or unrealistic. It means being prudent and rational. It means being aware of your strengths and weaknesses, your opportunities and threats, your risks and rewards. It means being able to evaluate, analyze, or optimize your actions. Adapting and persisting is a skill that you can develop with practice. Here are some tips on how to do it. Identify your goal and your options. Make a clear and specific goal that you want to achieve, and list all the possible ways that you can reach it. For example, if you want to learn a new skill, you can take a course, read a book, watch a video, practice with a friend, etc. Choose the best option for the situation. Compare the pros and cons of each option and select the one that suits your needs, preferences, and resources. For example, if you want to learn a new skill, you can choose the option that is most convenient, affordable, enjoyable, or effective for you. Implement your plan and monitor your progress. Execute your chosen option with commitment and enthusiasm, and track your results and feedback. For example, if you want to learn a new skill, you can follow the instructions. Step 3. Focus on the process. One of the most common mistakes that people make when they face a challenge or pursue a goal is to focus too much on the outcome rather than the process. They become obsessed with the result and neglect the actions that lead to it. They become anxious about the future and forget to enjoy the present. They become attached to the goal and lose sight of the purpose. Stoics advise us to focus on the process rather than the outcome. They teach us to concentrate on what we can do rather than what we can get. They teach us to value the journey rather than the destination. They teach us to detach ourselves from the outcome and trust in the process. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wrote in his letters, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient, for he that is so wants nothing." Focusing on the process does not mean ignoring or avoiding the outcome. It means being clear and realistic about your desired outcome and setting smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. It means being aware of your progress and feedback and adjusting your actions accordingly. Focusing on the process also does not mean being complacent or lazy. It means being diligent and disciplined in your actions and doing your best in every situation. It means being consistent and persistent in your efforts and overcoming any obstacles or difficulties. Focusing on the process is a skill that you can develop with practice. Here are some tips on how to do it. Break down your goal into smaller and manageable steps. Make a plan of action that outlines what you need to do, when you need to do it, and how you will do it. For example, if you want to write a book, you can break down your goal into steps such as outlining your plot, developing your characters, writing your chapters, editing your draft, etc. Focus on one step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself with the whole picture or the final result. Focus on the task at hand and give it your full attention and effort. For example, if you want to write a book, focus on writing one chapter at a time, and don't worry about how it will fit into the whole story or how it will be received by the readers. Enjoy the process. Don't see your actions as a chore or a burden. See them as an opportunity to express yourself, to learn something new, to challenge yourself, or to have fun. Step 4. Celebrate your small wins and big wins. One of the most important and rewarding aspects of bouncing back from anything is to celebrate your achievements, no matter how big or small they are. Celebrating your wins can boost your motivation, confidence, and happiness, and can help you maintain a positive and optimistic attitude. Stoics advise us to celebrate our wins with moderation and gratitude. They teach us to appreciate our efforts and results without being arrogant or complacent. They teach us to be thankful for the opportunities and resources that we have without being greedy or attached. They teach us to share our joy and success with others without being boastful or envious. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wrote in his letters, "The wise man is neither puffed up by prosperity nor cast down by adversity, for he has always striven to rely chiefly on himself and to derive all joy from himself." Celebrating your wins does not mean being self-centered or selfish. It means being proud and happy of yourself and acknowledging your progress and growth. It means being aware of your strengths and achievements and recognizing your value and worth. Celebrating your wins also does not mean being satisfied or complacent. It means being ambitious and hungry for more and setting new and higher goals. It means being curious and eager to learn and seeking new and better ways to improve yourself. Celebrating your wins is a skill that you can develop with practice. Here are some tips on how to do it. Track your wins. Keep a record of your accomplishments, big or small, on a daily, weekly or monthly basis. You can use a journal, a calendar, a spreadsheet or an app to document your wins. For example, if you want to write a book, you can track how many words you wrote each day, how many chapters you completed each week, or how many drafts you revised each month. Reward yourself. Give yourself a treat or a reward for each win that you achieve. You can choose something that you enjoy or value, such as a snack, a movie, a book, a massage, etc. You can also choose something that is related to your goal or challenge, such as a writing workshop, a book signing event, or a publishing deal. Share your wins. Tell someone who cares about you or supports you about your wins. You can share your wins with your family, friends, colleagues, mentors, coaches, etc. You can also share your wins with people who have similar goals or challenges as you, such as online communities. Bouncing back from anything is not only possible, but also desirable. It is a skill that can help us overcome any challenge or difficulty that we face in life and turn it into an opportunity for growth and learning. It is a skill that can help us achieve our goals and dreams and live a happy and fulfilling life. We have learnt how we can become more resilient and resourceful in the face of adversity. In this video, we have explored 4 steps that can help us bounce back from anything. Step 1. Accept your fate. Don't resist or deny the reality of the situation, but embrace it with honesty and courage. Recognize what you can control and what you can't, and focus on what you can do. Step 2. Adapt and persist. Don't give up or lose hope, but be flexible and creative. Find solutions and alternatives and act on them with prudence and rationality. Step 3. Focus on the process. Don't obsess over the outcome, but enjoy the journey. Set smart goals and work on them one step at a time. Appreciate your efforts and results and detach yourself from the outcome. Step 4. Celebrate your wins. Don't ignore or avoid your achievements, but acknowledge and reward them. Be proud and happy of yourself and share your joy and success with others. By following these steps, we can bounce back from anything that life throws our way. We can become stronger, wiser, and happier. We can become masters of our own destiny. We can become unstoppable.